Happy Halloween, Asylum Ghosts. Welcome back to Joshie Asylum. In today's video, I want to talk about a Halloween comic book that I think should never be adapted. Well, it kind of was, but not quite, and I'll explain near the end of the video. I'm going to be doing a comic book review on Halloween 3: The Devil's Eyes, which is a comic book that came out in 2001. Now, I was going to do this a year ago, but I kind of didn't really feel like it, and plus I feel like with my other video, going through the things that the storyline ideas I wanted to see for a future Halloween TV show, I've already touched on some of the Chaos comic books in that video, so if you want to check out that video, the link will be in the description below. But I want to talk about this comic in particular because not only I think it's pretty terrible, well, near the end of what happens, but I think it's something that I just don't want to ever see adapted, and if they ever bring back the Laurie Strode character for the brother and sister arc, I hope they never go with this direction. So here's my full-on comic review of this and what I think they should not do at the end of this video. Or, yeah, that's basically it. So let's get to it. The comic book starts off with a flashback where Michael Myers is trying to kill, or the Shape, the boogeyman, whatever, is trying to kill Laurie Strode. Laurie Strode is doing whatever she can to protect both Lindsay and Tommy Doyle. You know, she sends them into hiding somewhere. Laurie Strode is getting attacked off screen, and then Michael Myers bursts in the closet, ready to stab Tommy. But wait, we all know the original better than that. This never happened. Well, that's because this was all a dream. And Tommy Doyle wakes up with his head shaved, and he wakes up in the sanitarium where he has been. If you guys don't know, the previous encounter he had was with Michael Myers, with him battling the Shape in a church with Sheriff Brackett. And Michael Myers killed Sheriff Brackett, and since Michael went completely MIA, like he always does, he completely vanishes. He was basically the one blamed for the murders. Since they didn't really catch Michael Myers, they only found him alive. He was caught by the Druids. I don't know what they did with him after that. And basically left Tommy Doyle stuck in the sanitarium. So this takes place in year 2001, a year later from the events of H2O. But some of you guys know, this doesn't make any sense because if you don't know, Halloween H2O actually took place in 1998. So technically speaking, for continuity corrections, this should be listed as 1999, not 2001. I don't know how they screwed that up. But anyway, Tommy Doyle is talking to himself, saying that he knows that Michael Myers is out there. Because if you guys don't know, this is actually a timeline to Halloween H2O, and also in this timeline, both Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers, and H2O is actually connected in the same timeline, so it's not separate like it is in the movies. Despite the fact that he heard that Michael is dead, he doesn't believe it. Until these people walk into a cell, you got some security guard worker, I don't know what you call those people, and you also got this guy wearing a tuxedo, wearing a suit and tie and all that, also walks in. Who is this, you may ask? It's none other than Dr. Terrence Wynn from Halloween 6 that died in the theatrical cut but survived in the producer's cut. So I guess this is a sequel to the producer's cut only, I guess? I hope not. And apparently the cult is also in charge with the sanitarium, and the reason why Terrence Wynn is here is not only because of that, he's here to kill Tommy Doyle. So what they're going to do is they're going to make his heart stop by injecting something into his body. They're basically doing this because Tommy Doyle basically knows all of the information about Dr. Loomis, Michael Myers, and the whole cult. So the idea is they're going to kill him, making it look like a suicide. So that way they can get rid of him once and for all, and that way that he won't interfere with any of their plans. But Tommy Doyle, being Tommy Doyle, fights back and he beats up one of the guards, and he hits Terrence Wynn. He escapes, and I think he ended up killing the guard. He escapes, he pulls the fire alarm. The other mental patients escape out in the rain, very similar to how the patients escaped in the first Halloween. And Tommy gets a hold of the car. He takes the keys from Dr. Terrence Wynn, and he's about to hit the gate until he sees a familiar silhouette. He sees Michael Myers, and he says to himself that he knew it. He knew that Michael Myers wasn't dead. So he drives past Michael Myers, somehow not managing to hit him, and he escapes from there. Then we cut to Lindsay Wallace. She was also with Tommy Doyle on that night in 1978 when they both survive Michael's rampage. After that night, she doesn't like scary movies anymore. She can't even sleep whenever the lights are off. She always have all of her lights in her house on because she feels a lot more safer. And I think she's a reporter, if I remember. She's a detective lady now. So that's pretty interesting with her character. Now, by the way, most people in Haddonfield, this takes place in Haddonfield, but they actually went to another location because trick-or-treating was apparently too dangerous in Haddonfield, and I can see why. So they went to Russellville to trick-or-treat instead. And this is when we found out that Laurie Strode is actually missing. We don't know where she is. We don't know what happened to her. We don't know if she did something to herself. We don't know. And also we would find out that on the news in the comic book that police are unable to identify this headless body that's clearly missing its head because it's all charred and all that stuff, and they can't find the head. So we don't know who it is, but we might have a sneaking suspicion that it could be Michael Myers, but they can't find his head, which is pretty strange. It's obviously Michael Myers because considering the fact that this is a connection of H2O, and they also mentioned that she went under the username of Carrie Tate. So that's pretty much a connection to H2O, and also that pretty much confirms that the badly burned headless body is the body of Michael Myers. But at the same time, Laurie is completely absent. As Lindsay is sitting on her TV flipping through the channels or whatever, her phone starts ringing automatically. She picks it up. She puts it up to her ear. She's asking who's on the other line calling her residence. Nobody answers. So without any hesitation, she goes outside and then she looks around to see whoever's there. She has this feeling that it's Michael probably stalking her, but then she shrugs it off until she goes to grab a knife in the knife block, until out of nowhere, a hand grabs her. And it turns out to be none other than Tommy Doyle. Now Lindsay has a bit of trust issues trusting Tommy Doyle because apparently she believes what people were saying about him, saying how he went insane. But Tommy convinces her that he's not the insane one. He's not the one that killed those people. He's not the one that killed Sheriff Brackett. And eventually she believes him, and they're best buddies. They're besties again. Yay. Then they start looking through Dr. Loomis's journal, everything about what he has written about Michael Myers. Apparently he visited the lady who helped deliver the 3 Myers children to Dr. Loomis when they're both chatting. But here's one thing Dr. Loomis is confused on. He says no, there were 2 Myers children. The lady corrected him, saying no, there were 3. The lady would then tell Dr. Loomis that Michael Myers' body may have entered the world, but his soul did not. Now at this particular moment, Lindsay and both Lindsay and Tommy are interrupted by noises that are coming from upstairs. So they both go upstairs, they both go into this room, and they discover a severed head that's been crudely cut to look like a jack-o'-lantern, which is pretty gruesome. Once they look to their left, they would see 3 dead skeletons rearranged in this sickening artsy pose. These 3 bodies that are basically in front of their tombstones are Linda, Annie, and Bob, the people that Michael killed in 1978. But why did he dug up the bodies of these particular people? He's never done that before, so it's a little odd that he did this. But realizing that Tommy and Lindsay are both in danger, they insist that they probably shouldn't be there. They probably shouldn't be here, and that they should just get out and leave. Out of the shadows, Michael's mask starts emerging, and then he attacks Tommy, stabbing him in the shoulder. He drops the gun. Lindsay falls down the stairs, very similar to the original Halloween. So Michael tries to stab her, but eventually Lindsay manages to close the door on time, basically latching his hand in place between the frame and the door. Runs across the street and she's calling for help. Meanwhile, she sees this car coming and she's asking them to help, but they think it's all a joke, part of the Halloween gig, until she finds herself face to face in front of the Myers house. She says to herself she needs to stop being scared. She conquers her fears, so she goes in the house while Michael is still pursuing her. We get this pretty cool, neat little nod to Friday the 13th Part 2 whenever Jenny wore the sweater and put it on. Well, she's doing the same thing, except she's doing what Judith did in her final moments, where she's brushing her hair. So Michael then appears behind her. Lindsay turns around, aware that he's there. She tells Michael, hey, you killed everyone. You don't need to kill any more people. You gotta stop. So what does she do? She tries to take the knife from Michael Myers, which is a big no-no. Michael then lashes out at Lindsay, pushing her to the mirror, but Lindsay manages to pick up a glass in time, stabs Michael in the left eye. Tommy then appears behind Michael, shoots him in the back, Michael goes down to the ground, and Tommy grabs the mask, pulls the mask off Michael's head, and it's revealed that Michael isn't there. Jinkies! It's old lady Laurie Strode. So she then pulls a shard of glass out of her left eye. She then lashes out at Tommy, stabs him in the neck with a shard of glass. They both go tumbling out the window. They both land violently on the grass. Tommy looks pretty much dead, considering the fact he got stabbed with the shard of glass. And Laurie looks dead as well. But turns out, Laurie Strode would later survive. You guys are probably asking the same thing I'm asking. Why did Laurie Strode all of a sudden go berserk and crazy and decided to dress up as Michael Myers to kill a bunch of people? Well, here's why. After she killed Michael Myers, decapitating him in Halloween H2O, she couldn't really accept the fact that Michael Myers was dead. So what did she do? She took his head as a trophy, she dressed up as him, and she basically became him to keep his image alive. So in essence, she became him due to that trauma experience. She basically is now Michael Myers. I think this is a not to psycho, by the way. Not only she's in the straitjacket in the sanitarium, but she starts looking towards a wall, not moving, not saying anything, looking pale and emotionless, just like her brother Mike. And that was basically the entire story of Halloween 3: The Devil's Eyes. What do I think about the story? I think it's pretty stupid. I never want to see Laurie Strode going berserk and dressing up as Michael Myers, all because he's not there. I never want to see a future Halloween movie or show bringing back Jamie Lee Curtis, having her go berserk and start killing a bunch of people, all because she wants to relive the night of 1978 and the fact that she couldn't accept the fact that Michael Myers was dead. Why I'm bringing this up is because supposedly, from what I'm hearing, Jamie Lee Curtis is interested in coming back in a future Halloween movie or TV show, and that's something I do not want to see. So hopefully when they do make another movie or TV show or whatever, or make a TV show eventually, they don't go with the storyline, because this will not be accepted or received well by the Halloween fans. Alright then, Asylum Ghost, Oh, it's nighttime. So that's going to do it for this video, Asylum Ghost. What do you guys think of this video? Do you guys like it, hate it, think it's okay, or do you disagree altogether? Let me know what your comments are below. Also, if you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe to the channel, and click the notification for more videos coming out. Alright then, Asylum Ghost. Happy Halloween, Asylum Ghost. Eat your candy, be spooky, be scary, go trick-or-treating. Don't hurt anybody. And I will see you guys in the next video.